Here are some tips to help you with game jams. Why am I qualified to talk about this? Well, in the GMTK 2023 jam, out of 6,700 participants, I placed 38 in creativity, 48 in enjoyment, giving me an overall score of 110. Well, you might wonder how that happened. As you can probably tell, my presentation needed some work. The first tip is to make unique mechanics. So for example, don't just make another standard platformer. We've seen that a million times before. If the theme for the jam was a flame, maybe you can be experimental and give him a flamethrower, or make Mario on fire. Personally, I don't like to use physics in these game jams. It causes too many bugs. When you're already limited to 2 to 4 days for a game jam, you don't want to be wasting time on simple bugs like these that always crop up with physics. And you might say, well, I can use a Jolt, right? That physics drop-in for Godot or something similar. The only issue with Jolt, it doesn't work in the browser, and that's the next tip. You want it to be playable in the browser. Nobody likes downloading games. It makes it way more accessible if you can just play it in the browser, and people are a lot less scared of getting viruses when it's in the browser. This means you'll get more players, which means you get more ratings, which means you get more feedback. Everybody wins. The next tip is to get feedback during development. This can be from your friends, or if they're not available, you can use other jam participants and play each other's games. This lets you fix bugs so they don't get into production, and it also just makes it more fun to get feedback. Say, oh, people actually like this thing I'm making, and they provided some good ideas that I can use. Here's another tip. Work on the main gameplay, then polish it up. First, you want to make the shoe, then you polish the shoe. You don't want to make some really pretty looking thing that isn't wearable as a shoe. You want it to work first and then polish it. Personally, I recommend spending the first half of the jam working on the actual game and then polish it in the second half. If you try to spend the whole time just making your mechanic work at all, then it's not going to look that good. So try to just split the time in half approximately. As a last meta tip, give feedback to others. If you want to be constructive, then you'll rate their game, and then in return they'll likely rate yours. As a bonus, due to the way that the rating system on itch.io works, this will mean that your rating gets boosted up more because it partially takes into account how many people rated your game. So just play a lot of people's games after the jam and rate them. Good luck in your game jam, and thanks for watching.